Today we'll look at this one of the Gardenia species. This Gardenia, there are a few of them in India, but they're a bit new to me because most of my earlier career was spent in organic farming and learning how to cultivate without pesticides and all that, and then doing the herbs, either the herbs and all. So in those days, I didn't spend energy and time on flowers. So now only I am having a look at this native flora of India, particularly lesser known, less popular varieties, forest plants basically of our own country. And just like the Ayurvedic herbal plants, they all their natural areas are under severe developmental stress, and so much clearing is happening. Then invasive species have come in a large numbers. So as I started looking at them, I found that they're all in trouble. Almost all our native species, except the very weedy category of plants, they are all in endangered list, and they have a bleak future. And from my analysis of the situation, the only way they can we can help them, they improve their chances of survival by getting them into our gardens. So instead of getting all kind of foreign species and then planting them, if we start looking at our own native species and then nice ones, if we start cultivating in our gardens, then even if they get endangered or extinct in the wild and all, they can continue to survive in our gardens, and then later they can always be reintroduced also. So I started documenting all the native these our own species, and then trying to understand their where they occur and what kind of soils they prefer, and then what are the companion, normally in the wild, which are the other species that occur with them, and then which are the main threats for these native species and all. That's the first step. If you want to get some of the wild plants into the gardens, then we need to understand their where they occur and all on such things first and foremost, and then one can think of introducing them and cultivating them also successfully. Some of them have made it to gardens, and some of them are hardy. Some of them they need to be studied, and then someone has to take the trouble to see how to cultivate them and all. So in that process, going through all these plants, and then this is that Gardenia, and in all probability from the reference books what I could see, in this west coast, the main only variety that was mentioned in that is the wild variety mentioned in the flora of Dakshina Kannada by Dr. Gopal Krishna Bhatt, is this Gardenia gummifera. There's one more Gardenia species that's called Gardenia resinifera, I think, that is occurring in more dry deciduous forests and all. But this one also occurs in other places, but also in this west coast and this Dakshina Kannada and all. and coastal districts of Maharashtra, Kerala and all. This one also is there. This gummifera, that is Gardenia gummifera. And some variations are also there in the photos and all. I checked, it was a bit confusing. So the main reference book for this the Dakshina Kannada and flora is that one by Dr. Gopal Krishna Bhatt. It is also hard to get, and it's a monumental work that great man has done, where he has recorded all the species observed in the wild and then given a correct botanical details, descriptions and all. So in that one I found that this is the one. Other cultivated varieties are there, but this is the primary species that is occurring in this region, and then according to that book it occurs in dry laterite soils. This is one of them. This compound, it's somebody's property there, and then that side there's the main road has come and they have put the wall and all, so that it's now ready for to be converted to real estate, and in the process it will all be cleared up. This plot has already got cleared up couple of times, except jackfruit and one or two mangoes and one plumeria. All others are young trees. These have all invaded, these acacias come in. So that is one, it's causing massive damage to the environment. Then the native species, colonizing species, is that that one with the large leaves over there. That is I think Makaranga peltata or something it's called, Uppariya mara. So that is also not able to compete with the acacia. Acacia is over, I think it's almost 30-40 feet. That Makaranga is only 20 feet and much skinny. Anyway, in this compound I could locate one nice specimen of this Gardenia, and it has shed most of the leaves right now. So we can't get a good look of the leaves. Approximately it's like this, and these flowers are they have a simple structure, and this particular one has 1, 2, 3, 5 petals, and very fragrant also. And when it opens up in the morning, it's white, and then after a day or little towards the end of that flower's life, it turns into this pale, little creamy yellow, which is also very nice. And then even these are, this one is having a good aroma. The older one also, young one is very good. Then this species is a herb, and it has herbal uses and all that. It produces a gum. That's why it's called gummifera. And in all likelihood, when I looked at the bark and all, it seems to be one of those species that can be multiplied by cuttings. So the base of this plant is here. So somewhat kind of a little corky type of look is there. So normally, from my experience, this kind of barks normally they are amenable to cutting and all. So probably it can be multiplied by cuttings. And then the flowers, as I told, it has this shape, and then that central part comes out light green, and inside also. That's how it looks. Then the young buds, flower buds are like that. Somewhat like jasmine type of look is there, but green. Nice attractive green buds. Then it is not exactly thorny, but it's not thorny. There are no thorns. But it doesn't have, at least this specimen doesn't seem to have any showy leaves or anything. And these gardenias and all are traditional flowering plants of this our country. In the olden days, before all these exotics and all came, people had these plants in their backyards and in their, particularly in villages and small towns in here and there you can see them. So that is about the gardenia a little bit, and then we'll also, since I have come into the compound with that owner's permission, we can as well see few other plants what are there here. This one also looks like a gardenia, though it is not, I don't see any flower buds or anything. Then there is one more relative of that gardenia. It has some that botanical name. It was Herbatemia hynenia or something like that. I will be doing a separate video of this plant anyway, but it also has that basic shape of the gardenia only. Simple white flowers. Then this one, and I think it also has milky latex. Yeah, milky latex is there. Then it has a mildly fragrant flowers. So two gardenias I could find here, that too on the sides. Then that's about it. Probably that gardenia, I think it has a small guava type of fruits. Maybe in a month after these flowers are done, it might, if it fruits, I want to come and cover it. As now that I started looking at this plant, I feel it should be in our gardens. Anyone who says they're nature friendly, eco friendly, and have some aesthetic sense, they can definitely think of this species. So my friend has come to give me company. She is hungry. Study. Normally I give her some dosa or something from the nearby canteen here. I think these flowers get attacked by aphids also quite a bit. And then this spider waiting to catch anyone who comes to pollinate it. So that's my first video on this. Very nice herbal plant, that is the Gardenia gummifera.